Last Word.
All right, good evening everyone and welcome to The Last Word. We do this every Tuesday, coming to you from Baraza Media Lab. Now, this evening we want to have one of the most urgent conversations that this country should have. Kenyan roads are the most dangerous roads in the world. It's hard to avoid the conclusion that the authorities prefer them that way. By the end of this discussion, we'll get to that point. But that's not the whole story. There's also human behavior. Someone said, quipped, that Kenyans drive the way they vote. Essentially, just careless. Well, we'll get to that as well. Or is our situation on the road an act of God? Essentially, we have nothing to do. It just happens to all of us. Where do you place your bet in this conversation tonight? We're asking a very simple question. Are the road crashes design failures or human behavior element is involved in it? Please get involved with us on The Last Word. I don't do this alone. I have a panel of my colleagues here. Zaha Indimuli, you've heard from her earlier on, our Gen Z, and our complete dictionary, thesaurus, if you like, of everything that we want to discuss. She'll be doing that for us. We also have Sharon Momani, who's a journalist of over 15 years. She's been everywhere telling the most important story from a first-person point of view. We also have Eric Latif. You know him of asking very uncomfortable questions, and have some of that this evening. My name is James Smart. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to The Last Word. We do this to be honest with data, insight, and finally, the truth. We always start with the thing that is making us feel a bit of a type of a way the whole week. Zaha, what is the thing that has been keeping you alive? What's your hot button?
Well, there's so many things that can keep you awake in Nairobi, but I'll start from the easy one. It is very cold. Well, apart from that, my hot button of the week happens to be the fact that there's impeachment in the air. But before we get so far, let's have a breath of this impeachment in Kericho County. Well, there's so many things to see there. Mind you, that is a county assembly where fracas has erupted over the second impeachment in 10 months of Governor Eric Mutai. And for me, I'm very curious to understand rather why this is a hot button for me is because, first of all, it looks like a playing ground of anger and so many of our honorables all over the place. But importantly, why is the governor being impeached for the second time? There is cases of gross misconduct. He is at odds with everybody, from his deputy to the speaker, name it, call it, county executives. He has bullying issues. The executive and the legislature are having a fight at that county. But importantly, I want us to draw to the power of MCAs and how important it might be for us as Kenyans to look at what our county assemblies do. I think it is high time that we utilize our county assemblies not only to just impeach, like we have seen with Governor Mutai, with Governor Guyo, with Governor Kawera. This is also a space for us to look at how to credibly check in and balance our credibility within governance. The policies we pass in our counties, the budget approvals, the corruption, how our counties operate lies at the hands of our MCAs. And I'm thinking if they are absolutely this active and effective in impeaching the governor, they should be absolutely active and effective at making sure that the county is run to its best format. That is my hot button of the day. I am Zaha Indimuli.
Yeah, I think one of the problems of the design flaws the Constitution has is this idea that for you to be a governor, you need to have a degree of sorts. And for you to be an MCA, you didn't need any sort of qualification. So I'm supposed to oversight this person, presumably, with better qualifications. I think that's how it should work. So that's a design flaw. There's a problem right there. Yeah? We either decide no one has qualifications, or we all have qualifications. There is obviously a design flaw.
I think there's too much emphasis on the paper qualification. The most basic qualification should be, are you able to convince your people to vote for you? that you actually understand the issues that the people want, you know? And if that's the case, then that's it.
I agree, but on some point you need some level of surface level knowledge and the ability to craft some laws, to plan a budget. I mean, there's stuff that is needed here. It's not just, a person who's passed through school. They have to have gone to school.
I think I even have an entirely different problem, because I feel like most of the time I hear a lot about the most activity in county assemblies has had to do with impeachment rather than, passing laws that are helping people. There are very specific things that happen regionally, both to do with production, with economic development, human welfare, but that it comes to this, so I feel like we're always just doing politics even down to that level, but it's the design, I guess, of also how we do politics.
Yes, what has been disturbing you, Sharon?
My hot button sounds like a scene straight from a sci-fi movie, only it is not. So a few weeks ago, a group of tech researchers published a report called AI 2027. And what this report does is that it paints a very vivid picture of what they say, this group of researchers, is what the world is going to look like, not so far from now, but about 5 to 10 years coming. And they're calling this a state of tech utopia where, and I mean, this is a conversation that has been ongoing alongside the development of the AI technology across the globe, of what then becomes the role of humanity, what is the kind of tasks that humans will be left to do in this place where technology, the AI technology is really advancing, and right now we are heading to the AGI, which is the artificial general intelligence, the kind of intelligence where it will be able to do technically everything that a human can do, if not better. And so this report paints a picture, and the BBC 2 weeks ago produced a story which then visualized this report. And in this story, you see this tech utopia world that the world has become, like 10 years from now. And you're seeing people just chilling around, being served by robots. We have a completely global workforce of robots. And says, there are some positives of what this world would bring. First, AI technology would mean running the world basically on AI, technology, agriculture, production, so that the system will be based on distribution rather than profits. And so therefore there will be abundance. There will be a reduction of inequality for humanity. There will be cures for most of the diseases that at this point we don't have cures yet. So because everything is running on this super intelligence level. But then the danger becomes, at what point are you able to control this technology if you've gotten to create this superhuman that then can also create its own advancements? And they say in this report that they're using a form of AI called Agent 3 that then decides to develop its own successor of Agent 4. But anyway, let's listen to one voice from Silicon Valley, Gary Marcus, who is an author of the book Taming Silicon Valley, on his thoughts about what this report says.
The scenario there is not impossible, but extremely unlikely to happen soon. The beauty of that document is that it makes it very vivid, which provokes people's thinking, and that's a good thing. I wouldn't take it seriously as like this is a likely outcome or anything like that.
All right, so he says it's not impossible, that scenario. And I think my takeout from this report is, whilst I don't think there's intention to stop the development of AI, there's every reason to be very intentional about where we are going with this as humanity, such that we know for sure there are values that come alongside this, values that preserve humanity, values that, we all will feel safe, even as we continue with these developments, the race towards superintelligence in the world. That's my hot button.
Funny enough,
Terminator.
As a product of the wireless generation, I feel like AI, the age of AI is coming in, and we're finding a world that is still from that point where TV turned from gray to colors, and the whole world was probably waiting for our world collapse. But I feel like we're given an opportunity to have not necessarily utopias, because I don't believe in utopias, not on earth. I feel like we're given an opportunity whereby we can be able to curate, at least on a value-based, ethical method, something that could actually be very beneficial to humanity. There's so many human errors that we can prioritize AI. Like even what we're discussing today, literally, I think AI can be utilized in spaces where it has proven beyond human record that we can solve. And because at the same time, I still think I agree with the fact that it's not necessarily very impossible that AI can formulate its own super artificial brain, because we give it so many information.
And decide to wipe out the human.
Yeah, literally it lands on the moon again. You know, we started all this civilization. It's possible.
Yeah. So
Guys, sleep easy.
Sci-fi. Sci-fi is in life.
CBC.
No need to be scared. No need to be afraid.
Okay.
We will be okay. My hot button tonight is basically some point of confusion. And I'm confused by Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga says NGCDF should be abolished. Now, whereas I completely agree with him, I'm confused because is Raila saying this as a matter of principle, or is this political doublespeak? I'll explain why, but first, listen to what he said yesterday when he was speaking to a joint parliamentary group of ODM and UDA MPs.
So constituency is not a devolved unit. And members of parliament themselves should not be involved in development, because there's supposed to be oversighting. There's supposed to be oversighting. If you yourself being involved in construction of roads, building of schools, building hospitals, who is going to oversight you? Who is oversighting you? So, Mr. President, I hold very clearly that these MPs know that they should not have any business in trying to implement projects in their constituency. Implementation of projects should be left to the county government.
Now, this is why I'm confused. There is presently before Parliament a constitutional amendment bill. It has already passed the National Assembly. It's before Senate. It was co-sponsored by an ODM and a UDA MP. It is one of the laws that are implementing the NADCO report. What does the NADCO report say? It says let's constitutionally create NGCDF, NGAF, and a new fund called the Senate Oversight Fund. When the NADCO report was presented to Raila Odinga in March last year, this is what he said. As we have said before, this document is not perfect, but it is a good start. If fully implemented, it offers an opportunity for peace and reforms that could put this country on a path of prolonged stability and equity in the years ahead. Our position is that the report, the NADCO report, including the various legislative proposals attendant to it, should be implemented without any alterations. He said, this document has enemies from reactionary forces across the political divide, both inside and outside Parliament. It requires vigilance. So, one of the legislative proposals is that one that's currently before Parliament, that is to amend the Constitution and create CDF as a constitutional fund. Then in comes Raila Odinga, who said, let's implement this without even changing anything, to come and say, no, NGCDF should not be created. So where does Raila stand? Is Raila speaking for political expediency, or does he actually mean it as a matter of principle that this NGCDF should die? Is this political doublespeak, or is it not? Raila Odinga owes the country a clear explanation. Where exactly do you stand, Mr. Odinga? My name is Eric Latif. That's my hot button for tonight.
Is it strange that Raila does the same thing every time? Because I think this is also politically his go-to method. But I think also, if we have this CDF fund genuinely within Parliament, I think I agree with him on the first round. Like, who oversights you if you're the one doing development? Also, if you're the one doing bursaries, so what is the point of the ministry anyway? But at the same time, the double speak.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if you take a long view, and this would be unpopular for me because I'm not used to saying this. I think Raila has been consistent to the extent that he prefers the parliamentary system of governance. And all through his political career, I think he was actually arm-twisted to support the new constitution in 2010 when there was no other option other than the presidential system of parliament. So if you follow him carefully, he's always attempted to bring this parliamentary system of governance into being. So that's why the prime minister position is always exciting and enticing to him. So perhaps he's just being right and wrong at the same time. We have a presidential system and that's what it is.
Stop
Absolutely.
Do you want us to implement NADCO? The MOU between ODM and UDA, point number 1 is full implementation of NADCO, which creates NGCDF as a constitutional fund. Raila says, let's fully implement NADCO, but let's not have NGCDF. Choose one. Choose your battles.
Maybe he's just unaware that that is part of the point of NADCO, that we are supporting the NGCDF.
Great.
What's your hot button?
Mine will be fairly easy because it's something on the news. The president has announced to the country that Parliament is a den of thieves. There's corruption going on, right? He calls it Sokohuru. Fantastic. I think the president is doing a fantastic job to tell the country the worst kept secret that we all know. So I believe intelligence now it's working, that the president of late is getting very good information about the ongoings in Parliament. There's a few problems here though, that what's happening in Parliament appears to be what EACC does with fighting corruption. So when there's all this noise about, the corruption levels of this country are on ridiculous levels, the EACC does a setup and start arresting policemen, traffic policemen on the road, getting 50 shillings and harassing them. Very good shot for TV, by the way, but hardly addresses the point. Now, what the policemen on the road do, getting 50 shillings and whatnot, is obviously wrong. It is obviously illegal, and they should be arrested. But that is not the point. Our problem with corruption is systemic. It actually comes from the top. Parliament, everyone knows, has been co-opted. Guess by who? The executive. It's a worst-kept secret. So I really wonder what this new charade is all about. Is it fighting corruption? Is it making sure that finally the members of Parliament really toe the line? Or is the executive fighting a different fight here? I am struggling to see the point of this new fight against corruption. But if it all ends up with arresting a few MPs, making sure that maybe the House leadership loses its position or whatever it is, then, well, it's good. I suppose anything that fights corruption really works for all of us.
I mean, I wouldn't discredit the entire gesture for the simple reason that you have stated. We have all these agencies and we're not seeing the results out of their mandates of whatever different ways they're supposed to be fighting corruption. So perhaps the first mandate is to find out exactly why these agencies are not working. They could, if there's a representative from EACC, they could recommend that we don't need EACC, essentially rendering themselves jobless. But anyway, that there's always a point to revisit, and that we can't judge it until it happens. That's what I think.
I feel like this country has an obsession with committees and task forces. For me, I'd want to ask also, can the oversight authorities, are they able to actually do their job anyway? Or they need another committee of their own to committee them? There's so many committees. When there was a femicide crisis in this country, we had a GBV committee. What else I've had so many committees, more than I've had reports from the oversight actual authorities. So it's such a big obsession. I'm sure even if we have a road problem like we're discussing today, by tomorrow, road committee.
I just hope they are finite in their timelines that they've been given, and I'll be curious to see the kind of recommendations that come. I am a hopeful individual inherently.
Let's find others. We're not alone. We have a live audience. Let's start with the lady. Please introduce yourself. What has been bothering you this week?
Thank you very much. My name is Leonia Roslyn, the chairperson of Young Captains. what has been bothering me so much is the road accidents. And today, as I was traveling to this station, there's a driver who was driving me, and I decided to ask them, what is the greatest cause of road accidents? One of them is overspeeding. The second one is reckless driving. The third one is drivers driving under the influence of alcohol. And the fourth one, he highlighted for the long distance drivers, it is fatigue. They keep on driving for long distances, they are tired, and they are still driving. They are normal human beings. They are prone to cause accidents, and it is the largest factor causing our road accidents. And I asked this driver, what do you think, who do you think is responsible for this driver's behavior? And the driver said that the largest or the responsible person is the police, the traffic police officers. And I continued to ask, why do you think so? And the other thing that came up was corruption. I just had to keep quiet, because if I asked him who between you and the police officer is corrupt, probably he would not have answered. And as I was thinking about the word corruption, I realized that the president yesterday made a sentiment on what smart he's saying. He accused the whole parliament, the whole legislative arm of government to be corrupt. So how do I come here on TV to tell a police officer to stop taking bribe of 50 shillings when the president in broad daylight said that the MPs are asking up to a tune of amount of 150 million? So if one governor can issue the parliament and the Senate 150 million, which audacity will I have as a young person to tell a police officer to stop collecting 50 shillings? It looks like a very minimum amount. But a reminder to the member of parliament,
you've really gone into a conversation. Yes. I would like to hold this. I can see you're ready to go. Can you just hold it there? You're overspeeding. Let's get the gentleman there. We'll come back to you. Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Mwenda Manyara from Meru County. I'm the Secretary General to the Meru Youth Federation. And the hot button is what has happened yesterday in Kisumu White House Resort, the killing of the former Siaya County Assembly clerk, Felix Isaac. Yeah. And what has been lingering in my mind is that every day we see news that police have shot someone, maybe a missed bullet, someone did their job well. And I've been wondering, like, every day, not long time ago, we had the issue of the Ojwang. We had people who have been killed in Mandamano. And yet we see every day, every week, we must have a missed bullet that takes someone's soul out. That we cannot well understand that what's the real job of the police. Because like the case of Felix was that there was people who are like wanted maybe to do away with this property, and he was calling for protection from the police. But as you see, it was the casualty. At the end of the day, he was killed maybe by a police officer among the other police who are looking to protect his property from the people who are trying to steal from him. So I feel that the police officers at some time don't understand their role. Like, if you are to protect people, you have given a chance to protect people, you have been given a chance to protect their property, and at the end of the day, you take someone's life. Then why are you here? Why are you the police? Why are you given the bullet? Why are you here the first time? So at that point, I understand that maybe we can say we give the policemen the sticks, so that at the end of the day, they have no chance to shoot someone.
That's a good one. That's a very good. That's a good place to stop it.
Yes.
Yes. Give policemen sticks. So they can't. Yeah. So they don't kill anyone. They're called batons, but that's good. All right.